Happy Tuesday, everybody, and welcome to Fight Club. It's Fight Club Untethered version today, and we're going to explain how and why in just a minute. Happy Tuesday, everyone, and welcome.
Awesome. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Welcome to Fight Club for Business, the show for home service business owners looking to improve their marketing, finances, systems, and culture. We're a team of self-employed industry experts, and we get to be joined this week by Keith Kalfas. Thank you so much for joining us, Keith. Do you mind just giving our listeners a brief rundown of yourself and your business?
Hey, what's up? I'm Keith with Kalfas Professional Services in Detroit, Michigan, and we do landscaping and window cleaning. We're going into our 10th, we're in our 10th season now, and I love what I do. I also make YouTube videos on my self-named YouTube channel, Keith Kalfas, and I have a huge passion for marketing, social media, and I love landscaping and doing podcasts, so that's me.
Awesome. Well, I am excited to talk to you about all things marketing. That is where my expertise lies on this panel. So my name is Taylor Maroney. For anyone newly listening to the show, I co-own a pressure washing company in South Florida with my husband, and my background is in marketing. I love helping owners understand the numbers behind what they get from their marketing agencies and help them make better decisions based upon that. So super excited to talk about marketing with you today, Keith, and welcome back to Fight Club, everyone.
Awesome. And my name is Megan Likes. I'm the note taker. So when I'm scrambling to type on the screen, that's because I'm trying to keep up with the action items here. I own Likes Accounting Company, a full service accounting firm based out of Northern California. I educate and empower small business owners to understand their finances so that they can live more financially rewarding lives. I do this through a product called Bookkeeping Academy Online, where I have trainings to help build more financially profitable business models. And I own a window cleaning, gutter cleaning business with my husband, Jeff, in Northern California. And I'm happy to be here. And Keith, it's good to see you. We saw you in Florida last time in real life. I think that's been a year or two, but good to see you again.
Awesome.
Yeah. Hey there, Keith. I'm Michelle Myers, co-owner of Pink Collars, and we put remote admin rock stars or customer service reps in your home service business. So if you need that one individual to manage all your emails, texts, chats, and all of that good stuff, we can absolutely help. You and I have talked several times, mostly about Jobber, and we might talk about that again today. And I'm super happy to have you here today. So welcome to Fight Club.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
All right. And lastly, my name is Martha Woodward, and I am former owner of a maid service, and I am co-founder of Quality Driven Software, an employee performance system. And I just like helping people build happier workplaces. So welcome to Fight Club. And little disclaimer, most of us are in airports, so excuse any background noise. We're doing our best.
We didn't want to cancel because Keith was such a catch, and we're like, we're going to do it. Yeah. And then this morning we're like, we should have just canceled. We're sorry, Keith. Yeah. Not bringing your A game, but we were so excited to do this. So here we are.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, I get to see you first, Keith. And I think I talked a little about social last episode, but I kind of want to keep on this trend because it's such an awesome way for business owners to get involved with their marketing in-house and not have to be exporting that outside the business to a marketing agency. And it's a free option. It's a free way to get some things out there to your customers and talk to them about your business, what you have to offer, and really be able to showcase your brand and your culture. So I would love to hear the reasons why, number one, you love social media, because you did say that, you love social media, you love marketing. So I'd love to hear some of those reasons as to why, and maybe some trends that you are seeing right now in that world.
Yeah, very much so. This goes all the way back to early 2000s when social media came out and people were saying that it would never take off or go anywhere and it would be a joke. So this started out from me growing up really poor and working dead-end jobs and being very frustrated, and then seeing kind of like late night infomercials of hearing like Tony Robbins and these guys walking on the beach talking about how they can clone themselves through video marketing. And I was like, oh my God, that's insane. So I was really poor and I didn't have any other ways to brand or market my business. But then I learned if you just take your phone out or get a cheap camera, you can essentially clone yourself. And if you don't have the skills or profit margins or ability to hire a sales team yet, you're just not there yet, or even one sales guy, you can be your own sales guy or girl and clone yourself through video. So And even if you're not an expert, you're not good on camera, you maybe you're insecure about the way you look on camera and you're just super uncomfortable with that. I would like to implore anybody that wants to get into making Facebook, Instagram, starting a YouTube channel to market their business, is you don't have to be anything other than the person that you are when you're just walking around the property talking to your customer. And the vulnerable you, and I've learned this from one of my favorite authors, Brene Brown, in her book, The Power of Vulnerability. One second. Brene Brown, The Power of Vulnerability. She has this famous TED Talk, and she talks about this. And that one TED Talk kind of changed my life. And I said, wow, so I can just be me where I'm at right now. And you'll naturally attract the customers that they appreciate that. You know, people can feel the intentionality of your heart and where your heart is at and your intentions. And if you mean well and you want to do a great job and you're passionate about what you do, people are very sensitive and they pick up on that, and they can feel that through watching a simple video. So if you take your phone out and you make a video of you walking around a property or showing a cleaning job, or you just standing in your office talking about how much passion you have for serving clients in your local area, and you geotag that and title it and do that consistently, you will crush it. And you'll have clients calling saying that they saw the video or they found you on social media, and it just opens up this whole other world. So essentially, if you do that just a little bit more and more often than other people, you've created a cloning machine where you're copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. And if you're, let's just say you don't get good sleep 3 nights in a row and you're up all night and you have bags under your eyes and you just don't want to be on the camera, or you don't want to make a selfie video at all. Well, guess what? You have selfie videos of you that you can repost of when you were feeling great. So if you're sick in bed or tired or it's a rainy day, you have the best versions of yourself. Not that you're concealing anything, but you probably wouldn't want to make a video if you're having a horrible day. Although I do that on my social media, but I choose to do that. That is your cloning machine, and that is your sales operation. It could be 20, 50, 100, or 1,000 of you. And I've done this so many times over and over and over that some of my best videos that have millions of views, we have between 60 and 80 million views online. We get 4.5 million views a month. We post 8 to 12 pieces of content per day on all social media platforms, including TikTok. And I've separated and segmented between my actual service business and then just my general social media, where I talk to startup landscapers and window cleaners. But some of my best videos, I literally had something in my teeth because I was just eating some almonds and I was like, damn it, whatever. Or something, there was a speck of something on my shirt, or just something that
but it's showing the real you, right? It's giving that internal look to who you are as a business owner, what your daily life looks like. And I just want to stop you just briefly, if you don't mind, because that might have sounded very overwhelming to people listening, how much Keith is posting on social media to get these types of views, likes, followers, potential subscriptions, things of that sort. So what I want you to really kind of focus on that Keith is talking about is cloning yourself. I think this is a great way to look at video and look at your Facebook lives, your Instagram lives, your Instagram reels, your TikToks, whatever the case may be. You are making duplicates of yourself. And it's really funny that we're talking about this, because Megan and I were having a conversation literally last night about, the intimidation behind video and how it does take time to get used to being comfortable in front of a camera. It took me creating reels every day for a month to get comfortable on Instagram reels, to be comfortable in front of the camera, to kind of pull back a little bit from the perfection of the look of how I look, how the background looks, how everything surrounding me looks, and really allow more of that vulnerability to come through. So I think that is honestly the coolest way, number one, I've ever heard it said. And I will let you keep going from here. If you've seen, I guess the next question, what I'm going to ask is, have you seen any new trends with video? Anything that's really pushing it in a direction that is something business owners could hop on right now and be able to start implementing this week?
Yeah, I have. And to add what you're saying, vulnerability is the new credibility. So we've moved, and I'm kind of into the stuff. Like, we've ascended, we've evolved over the past few years, and we're always evolving. But as a culture, people, their BS detector is already starting to go off as soon as they see a video, if they feel like you're trying to sell something. And if you just come right out and admit mistakes, you could tell so I have this thing I printed out from entrepreneur.com, and I went to a print shop and I paid, and it's like 12 different stories that you can tell from the like an embarrassing story that happened in your business, and then how you actually fixed it and the customer became a raving fan. There's all types of things you can do to take someone's BS detector and turn that thing off by just being vulnerable, and then you become credible. The trends in social media that I see is, so there's so much, you have to be a disruptor, and there's so much, it's about putting rails up on your marketing and on your messaging. So you say, and you can write this down, you create like a policy for your social media. This is the stuff that I never talk about. This is the stuff that I do talk about. So you want to talk about your main thing and your side thing. You might happen to, you have a service business, but you also happen to love botany or flowers, or you have a garden, you love gardening, or you know whatever, maybe you love surfboarding.
Absolutely.
Or something.
I'm one of those people. 100% one of those people, except Disney for me. So,
or you love dogs, or you love something like that, and just a little bit of that, just to give somebody a taste that you're a real person and you're not just trying to just sell them something. And then you put rails up on the messaging, and you say you stay hyper focused and specific on the topic, and then every single piece of content is thought out and around a specific topic. Back in 2017, I had the opportunity, I guess, to go with the pond guy, Greg Wittstock. This guy is like, he's famous in the green industry, and he's invented a bunch of cool things. And he invited me to go to this famous YouTuber, Logan Paul, his house in California. And I've been all over the country now because of my YouTube channel, but this one specific experience changed my life and the life of the other YouTuber friends that I had that were in the landscaping niche. We went and we saw this Logan Paul guy who's making millions of dollars a month, and he's making these crazy videos, and he's very entertaining. He also has gotten himself in trouble because of that. And we left California so inspired, but on like a high, thinking, oh my God, we have to do what he's doing. And over the period of the next 9 months, we totally screwed up our YouTube channels because we were putting out all this murky type of messaging that didn't have anything to do with the main topic of the reason why people were actually coming to our social media channel. You know, some of the most successful people who do social media, they're not posting videos of them eating ice cream with their dog or every single thing that they're doing. So you can actually relax on the fact that you don't have to take pictures of your food. You don't have to do all these things. You could just put the phone down and don't make any videos except for the specific videos that communicate with the haptic feedback and messaging of your market. So if you describe a problem, there's a saying, if you like on social media, on videos, on podcasts, if you can describe somebody's problem even better than they can, they will automatically assume that you must know the answer. So all you have to really do is make videos describing a problem or showing before, during, after. Kind of like I like Billy Mays, the marketing guru guy who's did all the TV commercials, like the Kaboom cleaner. It's filthy. Yeah. Spray on the Kaboom, clean it. It's clean. Bam. It's called showing results in advance. And when you get good at that, then imagine that there's a stage on, and when I'm talking about, you asked me what are the trends on social media, it's getting hyper-focused on content formatting. If you look at the most successful TV shows, they come on at a certain time every single week or every day. There's the commercials, the way the viewer experience is the same and it's predictable. If you read like the E-Myth by Michael Gerber, this all goes into content messaging and formatting of how people, when there's a predictable feeling and set of chemicals that are fired and triggers that go on in their neuro and their subconscious, they know that when they come to your content, they're going to get a specific thing, just like people watch Joe Rogan or a Tim Ferriss or whatever, or Brene Brown. So when you can understand what your user is experiencing and then give that to them and give them more of what they want, then your social media grows. That's how you get traction. And so that's what the trend is. It's not being a generalist. It's being hyper specific and really good at niching down. And so, but that can be confusing because you might see people that have millions of views online. Well, they're hitting a broader audience in a bigger demographic. when I say we get millions of views online, this is actually hurting my analytics and my tracking and my advertising, because now I have to get more specific in tracking. We've had videos go viral all over Facebook and get millions of views. And I've always wanted that to happen. It's like, be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. Because I have, literally millions of people in mainstream America totally misinterpreting what I'm saying. And these aren't people that have a service business or anything. So it doesn't really actually do anything. It could actually be considered a liability to have that many people watching your content and criticizing it, popcorn, and they're like keyboard warriors. So the one interesting thing that I'm trying to reel this back in and close this loop is I lost my train of thought here, because this is it's like trying to fit a whole bunch of information through the path is narrow and the gate is small. Just get really good at saying the same few things. Like get your brand story down, your story of, get a couple things down really good and do them over and over and over and over and over and over and over, because you're not marketing. There's always new people coming in, and you consider the new person all the time. When you just dial in those few things, you can crush it with your marketing through video.
I absolutely love this. And I think I could steal a whole show and talk to you about this, because I've had everything that you have said. I've had experiences that have happened to me with the same exact thing, viral videos that have happened through other pages I've created for different business adventures. And it was a disservice, unfortunately, to me and my page. And there's so much to unpack when it comes to social media, but I love everything that you really kind of concisely put that into in about 15 minutes there. So I don't want to take too much more of your time personally. So I'll kind of pass you off to Megan at this point, Keith, for some finances. And I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Awesome. So I kind of want to continue the marketing kick. I feel like this is like the second or third week in a row where I'm like, let's just keep going. This is good. But I want to talk about social media and marketing, because I feel like we're feeling our phones slow down. We're in our summer slump a little bit in some industries. Like, we're headed towards recession. There's lots of talk about recession. And I think that, like, what you're saying about cloning yourself, what you're saying about, just getting out there and getting real and connecting with your customers, like, maybe this is something that our audience hasn't had to do in 10 years or 12 years, because they've had good lead flow, right? They're coming off of their best year ever last year. 2021 was incredible for the home service industry. And I think there's a little bit of fear and anxiety about, like, what's going to happen? Why is the phone slowing down? Like, why is nobody calling? And so can you talk about some practical tips of, like, how that started for you with your landscaping business? And maybe can you give me, like, which came first, landscaping or window cleaning? Like, can you tell a little bit about that home service story?
Sure. I feel like you asked two different questions there.
I
one
did.
about
So
the marketing
you can
stuff,
go with
and
the
then
one you want. Yeah, go.
my
You
origins.
choose.
Yeah. So I grew up a poor kid working dead end jobs, and then I got into cutting grass and didn't have any marketable skills. And I always said, if all else failed, I would start a landscaping business. And by the time I put a ring on my wife's finger and I was in debt and we were in a 1-bedroom apartment, scared with an eviction notice, I started doing side jobs by posting these crappy, embarrassing ads on Craigslist. And I would cut grass all day. This is me in my late 20s, literally. Then I would go out until literally dark, 7 days a week, and build this little tiny landscaping business. And I noticed it only took about 6 weeks to replace the income from my job. 6 weeks. So I spent a decade pontificating in my head how it would take, at least $20,000 in startup capital and all this crap that I had read in all these books. All it really took was just a hustle and motivation. And once I got out and I got the business going, I read a book by J. Conrad Levinson called Guerrilla Marketing Tactics. That was what got my business to cross the 100K mark quickly. And it's like literally go on UZ marketing or signsonthecheap.com or dope marketing. Where to get these bandit signs, put them in the turnarounds until you get in trouble, put them in entrances of subdivisions, collect the email of every single customer and go on MailChimp and do email blast every single month. Go to wordpress.org and start creating a blog article. And I was literally staying up all night teaching myself how to do search engine optimization and learning about search engine ranking page and Google 3-pack and all this stuff, and constantly taking pictures and videos and just everything I could do, from knocking on doors and passing out business cards. And then I learned that very quickly, if you just follow up with the customers, because the fortune is in the follow-up, and you have phenomenal customer service, you can get a business to 100K rather quickly. Then you have to hire somebody. In the marketing,
I gotta stop you there for just a second, because you said so many good things, and I feel like this is kind of the issue I've been trying to bring home as we're headed into recession. Is there's a lot you can do. So your phone's not ringing the same it was. Go hustle. Like, picture late 20s Keith, who's cutting grass all day, which is exhausting and hot work, and then coming home and doing content. Right? That's something that we can all do. That's something that we all have control over. We can be posting. We can be emailing our customers. And I think we get grumpy because we haven't had to for 10 years, 12 years. Like, we're out of the habit, but the good times they're changing a little bit. So I like that you said you could write blog posts. You could email your customers. You could be posting on Craigslist your services. You could be doing social media posts and videos and images. So there's 4 takeaways that if you're sitting there frustrated and pissed that your phone slowed down a little bit, go do one of those things today and again tomorrow. And then you were going to go on to your next thought, but I wanted to hit that home real quick because I hate it when people are complaining. I'm like, I know it sucks. I get it, but go do something about it. Like, what can you do about it? Go. So thank you for giving them something to do about it.
After I learned about, there's a book by John Jantsch, last name Jantsch, called Duct Tape Marketing. If you listen to this on audible.com, you could just buy it for $13. It's phenomenal. That book really made it so I was never worried about getting work ever again. Now, I don't have a $2 or $3 million business where I have to keep massive amounts of deal flow coming in. My marketing budget is very small. It went from 7% down to 1% of our gross annual revenue. It's nothing. So here's some things you can use, like Voicemail Bomb by Send Jim or Sly Broadcast. So what I've done is we have about 4,500 customers and clients we've taken care of. I'll sit, it takes 3 to 4 hours to scrub the list down of what customers you do and don't want to contact. And so I plan on doing this week here because our phones are starting to slow down. It's a scrub through a list, and then we do segments of 100 each, and then you can create a pre-recorded voice message. So I take out my phone and I imagine that I'm actually talking.
I gotta pause you, because if you're driving, like, you need to hear this, right? And if you're listening to this recording, we're gonna hit you can come look at that show notes, but this is gonna be great because he's gonna do a voicemail bomb for you, and you can use his script and change his name and change your company name and just make it your own tone and voice. Don't use his cool radio voice. Okay, ready? Let's hear your voicemail bomb, because I do this and I do 100 a day. So I love that you're validating what I'm doing naturally. Like, I learned the lesson. You don't want to do 4,500 at once. That's impossible. It's such a bad thing to do. Do 100 at a time, and you can rank them by like who gives you the most money or who's been the longest out since you talked to them last or whatever. But the voicemail bomb, I think, is often the hurdle. People are like, I don't know what to say. So
yeah, scrubbing your list is really important too. If you have customers like, I don't even want to get into that. Most customers are phenomenal to work with, and there's a few bad apples. So you want to scrub those out of the list and put them on a do not call list, and just, and I love my business and I love taking care of customers, but you know what I mean? So I pretend that I'm just talking to my favorite customer, Mrs. Jones, for real. Like, I imagine this, I take out my phone and it might take me 2, 3, 4, 5 times. The one that I have now, I recorded like 17 times. I had one for the spring, summer, fall. The spring one would be like, so I press record and I go into the software like Voicemail Bomb. You pre-record your voice message, and I'll tell you what it does before I do it, so your brain doesn't be like, what's he talking about? Okay, so a ringless voicemail is where it bypasses the customer from their phone ringing, and it goes directly to their voicemail. I don't know how it does it, but all they do is, or it might ring like half a ring or something. All they know is they got a new voicemail from you, and they think it's actually from you to them. You're not doing anything wrong because you really mean, and those are your intentions, is you're sending it to them. I don't know what your state or what type of GDPR, right, type of permissions, because you should have permission to do this, that they have given you permission. But I'm not a lawyer. I can't give you any legal counsel. But anyways, you say, this is what I say. This works for me very well. Hi, this is Keith with Kalfas Professional Services. I'm looking at our calendar here, and it looks like we've done some work for you in the past. Anyways, the spring is here, and our schedule is booking up really fast, and I wanted to reach out to you again to see if you needed your landscaping done, your windows cleaned. We have a whole property maintenance trim package on special right now. Anyways, if you want to reach out and get us on the schedule, I'd love to give you a quote. Give us a call at the office at 586-555-1212, or you can send me an email at theuntrappedpodcast@gmail.com. It's not my actual email. Anyways, have a great spring, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Bye. So it's like, do that a few times until it feels really natural, and then load that up. And if you were to send that to like 5,000 people, oh my God, especially if you have somebody answering the phones for you, you would want to warn them because it's not very nice. And you could go from a position for, I'll tell you the bad part, and then I'll tell you the good news, right? The bad news is if you send that to too many people and you're already too busy, that one ringless voicemail you will have people calling you 6 weeks later saying, hey, I got your voice message. You're like, what? That was 6 weeks ago. They're like, it's because you're always planting seeds and you're staying on the top of the customer's mind. What you're doing is you're positioning yourself as the obvious choice. And when you get to the point where you're planting seeds with a shotgun and you're growing a big harvest. So what happens is if you send that out, you're going to want to segment it to 100 people at a time.
I'm going to interrupt for a second and kind of collaborate a bit. But for us, what we do is we figured out that, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday were better. And we actually add in our call script. We say like, hey, Mrs. Jones, I was kind of looking at our schedule for the next couple of weeks, and I actually have a few openings. So I know you usually like to get it done. And we would do like the May people, and we would send that May recording, and we figured out what times of days we got the best response rate. And it wasn't just response rate, but when could our office team handle the responses, right? Like if you send it at 4 p.m. and then you close at 5, that's kind of waste. It's like just a total waste. So you'll figure out a way to hack it. But once you have that list, and it's not fancy. Like I wish I could automate this better. And you can with ResponsiVid, you can integrate SendGem, you can do quality control voicemail bombs. But from a marketing perspective, it's just a jobber list, and we cross off 100 at a time, and it works. We have a 22% response rate on our voicemail bombs. So we know 22% of people will call back or schedule if they're on that dead list. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, in Jobber, you can run an inactive client list that you haven't serviced in 18 months automatically. And that's usually our hit list that we work off of. I wasn't trying to hijack that, but I felt like it's really powerful stuff. And 22% conversion rate. I'm actually on the SendGem website. I didn't know this until recently. Somebody's like, yeah, your video, because I sent Daniel Dixon. I was like, do you know how much money you made me this morning before 10 a.m.? Like, this is gold. This is so cool.
Yeah. If whether you're a one-man band or you have, 20 employees, doing these ringless voicemails are incredible. One ringless voicemail can literally get you, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 of work on the books and book you out for a month. It's literally that powerful, and it costs you peanuts in comparison to traditional marketing and advertising like Google Ads, pay-per-click, and stuff like that. And if you are listening to this and you maybe get overwhelmed and you're saying, well, I don't have the time to do all that or to dial it in as much as she has, because you've got it really dialed in. That was like really smart. I had never thought of any of that stuff because I just don't have the time. You can go on upwork.com, upwork.com. And I've hired 40 different virtual assistants. I have 21 right now and a team of 8 that are working all the time, all over the world, anywhere from 12 to, well, I've paid them up to $150 an hour. My average virtual assistant, I pay, depending on what country they're in, $18 an hour plus bonuses. And they can help you manage a lot of marketing into your in your business. Like I have Sunny Suggs in Texas. You can send her an entire list that you're having maybe anxiety and you're frustrated because you don't have the time to compile this onto a spreadsheet and organize it and segment it. She can do it all for you in like 20 minutes. And she charges $20 an hour or something like that. Or it'll be like, I don't know what her rates are now, but what I'm saying is that you don't have to do all of this yourself. And there's software that once you learn how to use it, or maybe in the down season, it becomes something that you just kind of bake it into your business. And that's when they say, how do I systematize my business. Well, this is a system. Another thing is email marketing.
Can I brag on a listener real quick? Because we've got
Yeah.
Jay on the live, and I know we've got background airport noise. I'm sorry. And we lost Kay because she had to board her flight. We're a mess, but we're going to keep going. So Jay's on the live, and she gave us a little comment. And Jay uses Responsivid. She's with TRT Pressure Washing out of Florida, and they have it built into their follow-ups. Yeah, Bobby and Keith are buddies. So this is Bobby's new ops manager. She's kind of a big deal.
Jay.
We're a little obsessed with her. She's amazing. So they have it baked into their Responsivid follow-up so that the day after a job, they're sending a voicemail bomb that's Bobby saying, "Hey, Miss Jones, just checking in to make sure everything went okay yesterday. If anything's wrong, please give us a call back. Or if there's anything we can do to make it right, like we want to, I don't know." He says it in his Bobby amazing way. And then he ends with like, and if you really liked your service yesterday, which I hope you did, a 5-star review would be a great, help to us in our business. And then Bobby's got this whole thing about how he has more 5-star reviews than all of his competitors added together, right? More than 600. But it's a system. He recorded that once. I guarantee you it was 3 or 4 years ago. He never touched it again, and it just runs. And I love that. Like, it just runs. After every job, he calls and personally follows up to make sure that they're happy with the service. And if they're not, I think they call Jay, and then Jay makes it right. But it's a system. And it works. Okay, we can move on to your next thing, and then we're going to pass you to Michelle.
Okay. That was a piece of that was a piece of marketing gold right there that you just said. So secondary order consequential thinking. What will happen if I do this, and then what will happen from that, and so on and so forth. This integrated model of thinking is. So think of all the things that you do that you have to do every day. You have to go to sleep, you have to shower and brush your teeth, and you make your morning coffee. These are repetitive tasks like taking out the trash and doing the laundry. What things can you automate? Can you hire a cleaning person to come once a week and help clean your house, to take that off? All these things. We'll look at these software systems that are you can use as leverage. That you said Bobby Walker recorded one voice message that now is leveraged in his business and goes over and over and over. It's a cloning machine. It's like a record on repeat that's making profit for the business and creating goodwill and good faith in the community and in his marketplace, and positioning him at a higher level of not only value perception, but real value to his customers and clients, because he's over communicating that nobody else is probably doing. So I'm super impressed with Bobby, and it even makes me like, I'm like, wow, how do you think of that stuff and actually execute on it? He's an executor, and so is everybody at the TRT team. And it's like, I've learned so much from them. I actually had Bobby in my online course, the Business Marketing Blueprint, and he taught how he did that whole system. If anybody wants to check it out, it's keithkalfas.com/BMB. You can go there and check it out. And Bobby teaches this whole thing, how he got like 600 positive 5-star reviews. And it's almost like, but you have to do it every single time. And that's one thing that I fall short on. We are asking every single customer for a positive review, but the level that they do it is like, it's pure discipline. And I think it's become habit. And then the next thing was, MailChimp.com. There's all types of email marketing softwares. I've just been using MailChimp forever. And so when you collect all your customers' emails, the email marketing is a whole nother world that we can get into, because you want people to whitelist your emails. You don't want it to end up in their spam folder and all these things like that.
I feel like we're headed into a systems discussion. So I kind of want to pass you to Michelle with the thought that we use Jobber much like Keith does. And we have that integration between Jobber and MailChimp. And you can really divide your list, not do the scrubbing by adding tags. And then we target all of our email marketing through MailChimp based on the tags that we've created in Jobber. So what services have they had? When did they have their last service? And those tags will prompt these email automations through MailChimp. So because we're talking systems, I'm going to pass to Michelle and mute myself from the airport noise. Thank you, Keith, very much. That was super fun.
Perfect. I loved all of those things that you talked about, Keith. But I think what I want to hone in on is your creativity, because you are a highly creative individual. I'm a recovering designer, and so I have a little creativity in my background as well. And I have a really big challenge. This is me being vulnerable. I have a really big challenge blocking out time for creativity. What do you do as a creative person? Do you just like go full blast and record a bunch of stuff when you're inspired? Or are you more systematic about it and put it on a calendar and say, okay, this is the time I'm setting aside to create content? How do you do it for others that might feel a little bit scared about how to do that creative process.
You know, I really miss the old parts of the old Keith, who was very impulsive. I would
Yeah.
I would wake up with an idea and just go spend hours and hours working on it, and I'd stay up all night working on it until it was like, I remember when I wrote 3 books, and they all became bestsellers on Amazon, and they've sold all over the world. And I mean, I locked myself in my office for like, a week, and I was typing this book, and my wife would call me, and she'd be like, "When are you coming home?"
Yeah, what's happening?
Until I write at least one more chapter. And
Got
this
it.
type of obsession with creativity and getting into what's called a flow state. When I'm under this flow state, and it's like enthusiasm means literally the God within, and inspiration means in spirit. And when you're in spirit and you move into that place, you feel like a river of life and love flowing through you. And it's a connection with oneness, the isness, the universe. And it's a place that for me makes me so happy that I don't know how to shut it off. But that had me losing everything and sleeping in my car in 2010 because I was so creative, I couldn't get my shit together.
Yeah.
And I kept bucking the system, and I didn't want to buckle down. So if you put all this on a gradient, like a fulcrum, like a scale, it took me years and years and years and years. And I'm nowhere where I have so much more to go. But now everything's fully integrated. I can't really flip the camera around, but I have 2 different systems. We have battle boards. So if you go to the dollar store and get those big white construction paper, and then get some markers and a rig ruler and get some different color sticky notes, you can literally make a huge grid and stick them up on the wall and have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then you have columns based on like what needs to be done on the website, the CRM, the members area in your Facebook group, what type of design, YouTube product development, stuff for virtual assistants, social media, brand deals, to-dos, what's going on in the podcast. So I have this stuff all over the place. But it's hyper organized, and everything is now distilled and condensed down to what needs to be done down to the hour. Well, the problem with that is when I started to build a media team of people that help me do all this stuff. I have 3 different videographers, 4 different video editors that help me with different reasons. I have 2 podcasts, a main podcast producer, and then 1 on backup that our whole podcast is on autopilot. And then I have just all these different virtual assistants that help from design to thumbnails to book editors, publishers, a lawyer who's he's like in New York, a virtual assistant. This guy lives on a boat part-time. So it was really hard for me to get organized because I'm not inherently an organized dude. But and then I realized I'm not communicating any of this with my team because it's all on physical battle boards. I need some type of system that I can interact with and know what's going on in the cloud. So
Can you
I
take
paid
a picture of that? Like, at
Yeah,
some
we
point,
need
we need to share it. Like, at
We
some
need
point,
it.
like last week,
battle
we spent
board.
like 20 minutes talking about time blocking and how each of us do it differently. You were the first one that described a physical, and it's so funny. My husband's visual, he does this for his bills. It's like a physical calendar where he moves the bills every month. Like, that's so important to him to visually see the cash flow. I love it. I think it's
very
cool.
visual.
It's so good.
Some people are visual, some are audio, some are kinesthetic, and there's different modalities of ways you can do things. But so I got so frustrated last winter and overwhelmed when I started, like we got sponsored by Lowe's Home Improvement and different, like things are really taking off, and now I'm under contract. And so I hired a consultant for $150 an hour, and what the consultant did was I was looking for a system. Like there's Asana, Trello, Monday.com. You've heard of all these different things. And
of
so
course.
we got fully onboarded on Monday.com. So everything is on Monday.com. We've got boards, everything down to the video. Every time I have a great idea for a video or a crappy idea for a video, it goes into the video and creation. And then I tag it, the different modality. Is it out in the field? Is it a studio? Is it a podcast video? What type of video? When is the deadline for this video? What is the priority for this video? Is this video been approved to actually go into creation, or is it stuck in idea mode, or does it end up just getting deleted because it sucks? What does it have to do with the brand and the messaging? What's going on this quarter? What's going on this year? What do we have to fulfill, and how much time do we actually realistically have, pragmatically, like thinking on this marketing calendar? So when the idea gets approved and it goes into creation mode, it's automated on Monday.com. It goes down into video in creation, and then we can assign different team members to a board who can see it, the different checklists. It's all very systematized.
Wow.
And so, well, I don't live and breathe Monday.com like I should, because it's over systematized. Like everything is on there. My other VA helped me. Like, we take all of the deliverables for contracts and everything, and then we just take the major bullet points and we upload it into Monday under each brand. Like, we're working with 20 different brands right now, and so I have to know what the hell is going on. I need points of contact of, like, if I'm going to send gourmet brownies to my bookkeeper or something like that, or like everybody is on there. I can talk about this for hours.
I love it. It's good. I'm geeking out.
So I go on Monday.com on my phone. Like, I was filming Sunday all the way till dark for this brand deal sponsorship we're doing for Xmark mowers. And so I got the camera equipment out, and we're looking, and I got my guy flying the drone, because we're in this overhead drone shot, and I'm looking at what is the next shot. We have a checklist, so I can be as efficient as possible, and I'm checking them off as I go. So there's an audio book called The Checklist Manifesto. And the book starts out and it takes you. So if you're a type of person who's creative, but systems gives you anxiety and it makes you feel like trapped.
Yeah.
There's some people that love like bookkeeping and love data and analytics and spreadsheets. And there's people that hate it and they can't do it. And so they're stuck in their business. So if you also read the book called Traction by Gino Wickman, he talks about the visionary integrator relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm the creative visionary type, but I can't get my shit together and I can't get organized. So I had to figure out how to go find the money and the funding, because I'd bang my head against the wall, like anxiety and pacing around the house. And when you know you have a vision and you want to create something, but you're stuck and you feel like this glass ceiling or this emotional, I'm into NLP, you can actually go out and find people who are looking for you, the visionary integrated relationship. And then now you guys can there's an emergent property that happens where you can do amazing shit that you always dreamed of doing. And the moment it hits you, you'll be like, oh my God, it's really happening. I'm so happy. So this is real. And I've watched my dreams come true. Like I've tried to do so much stuff myself. And I have, but you can, let me just distill this down and simplify it.
Okay.
Because you can literally have, you can have a top 100 podcast, literally, that the whole thing gets recorded in your iPhone. You can have a YouTube channel that gets hundreds of thousands of views from your iPhone. You can do anything. There is a guy named he was a famous internet marketer, Kronig. He wrote a book called Publish to Profit 2.0. And anyways, this guy was sick in a hospital bed with cancer. Unfortunately, he fully recovered, thank God. But he built a 7-figure business from his iPhone. He wrote an entire ebook. He built his email list. He did all these things from his phone. But the one piece of clarity that I want to draw from all this type of talk would make me want to climb into a shell, because it was so hard to wrap my mind around how in the F am I going to go run my landscaping business, deal with employees, make sure I'm running payroll on time and doing all this, taking care of the customers and putting out all the fires and do all this. This is impossible. And my friend Brandon Vaughn told me this story once, how when he was growing his business, and I really look up to, aspire to have my act together like Brandon, because he's so calm and composed. And I've never seen him like, one time I think I saw his face get red for like 2 seconds. Come on.
Yeah. He's unflappable.
Yeah. So he said he saw somebody, he got some coaching or something by somebody because he had a control issue. He was like a control freak and afraid to just let go and let things grow. And he wrote the word control down on a little piece of paper, and then the coach had him tear it up into little tiny pieces. And he didn't know why, but he said he just started sobbing, crying as he was ripping it up. And so like now I'm mostly out of the field in my business because I just can't take it anymore. It's just not good for my time. My job is being creative and keeping the calendar full and knowing what role you play in your business. So if you have, a 6-month runway where you got to get some stuff dialed in, so then you can get into more creative mode, then that's just what it takes. So that's what I talk about, distilling down and becoming practical and pragmatic. And I think a coach can help you do that. There's coaches. What's so great about this podcast we're on right now, or there's so many different people that are willing to reach out and help. They may charge you a fee, but who cares if you spend a few $1,000 for a coach to help you see where you're at right now? Because if you don't know where you're at, you don't know where you're going. For me, that would be like a Joshua Latimer sitting down for 4 hours on a Saturday on a Zoom call and having Joshua Latimer walk me through what the hell is actually going on in my business, and then getting some focus. And I think from that place, you'll learn that there's a lot of fat to cut out, or a lot of stuff that's a lot of clutter.
Yeah.
I could talk for hours about this. My wife.
I know, and we gotta pause because it's good because you talked about a lot of people, and it's a perfect segue to hand you off to Martha because we got to get you wrapped up. They can get on a plane.
Good.
They're at the airport waiting on us. So thank you, Keith. That was super, super good. I appreciate it. I'm going to hand you over to Martha.
Sure.
Okay. Well, first off, I feel like I told Megan when we were muted, I said we need to go to a Keith class.
I know.
I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is great. We could easily talk about how you lead a virtual team and the logistics of that. But what I want to talk to you about.
What?
Are you getting background? Are you all? Okay. I'll ignore it. It's going to be hard. Sorry, guys. It's pretty bad. So I want to talk about how you can use social media to brag on your employees, but yet it is marketing. So let me give you a little background. I have a program called Employee Love Program, and we do all these employee brags within the internal communication channel for other businesses. We're like their concierge cheerleader. And what we don't do, and I wish these owners or admins would do, is take these employee brags and then use that in social media on their business page. Because when I had my maid service and when I was really on top of it and doing that, I'm going to tell you the things that sold, that, like hooked people in more than any kind of like, I've got this promotion going or whatever, is when I showed them behind the scenes on our culture. And I mean, that's when you would get all these people. So I know, you being the social media king, you're doing some of that. So if you'd share some of your strategy on how you use that would be awesome.
That's a great thing. I don't do that. I've recently started posting my new foreman when he does something really cool or good, or he backed up the trailer perfectly. I put it on Instagram like, dude, this guy just crushed it. Yeah. And he's smiling and laughing. But it was very basic and impulsive. There was no system behind it. I hadn't thought any of this out. And it's really awesome that you bring that up. Another employee that I have, he hates being on camera unless it's just like his back. So he doesn't want any of that. But so, no, I haven't thought of any of this. I'm not even there yet.
Well, so we survey after every job. And so when we get those survey comments back, and it names the employee, then what we do is we just put the employee's picture, and we had a little Canva template that you plug and play the brag, and then I would just put a couple, sorry guys, background noise. I would just put a couple of sentences saying, oh my gosh, Tasha has been with us for 3 years. I love her, and clearly her clients love her. And then I just put that Canva template that I copied and pasted, and then that's it. And
I'm pissed because I'm sitting here as an employee love program person and I have not posted a single one of these already curated, totally branded images that are sitting in my Voxer channel. I've not posted any of them.
well,
So thanks, Martha.
and
Rude.
it takes, and we'll
Just
probably
do that for me. Can't
I
the
was going to
concierge just do
say
that
we'll
for me?
probably add it into the program, but because nobody's doing it, and it's just like nobody was bragging on their employees on a regular basis, and that's why we did the concierge. But it's so easy. It's just so easy, and your employees also love it, because you're bragging publicly about them. So it's a win-win. If you're not doing that, do it. And
Well, and then can you make us like a little calendar, Keith, that was like, here's the perfect balance for a home service company. You're going to post 3 posts a week about you, and 3 posts a week about the customer, and 2 posts a week about the employee.
no kidding.
And then we'll just teach a VA, or maybe you could have a VA agency. I feel like that should be the next Keith thing.
There you go.
Can I be your first customer or second customer?
VA agency, it's a good idea.
Do it. Do it.
Any of that stuff that you feel like, oh my God, that's a great idea. I don't know how I'm going to fit that in. It's just never going to get done.
Mhm.
VA, a virtual assistant, can help you do that. And here's another tip I learned. If you think you want one VA who can just do all, can I just have one VA? Well, first of all, I think it'd be smart. VA, that's a whole nother conversation. I'll be talking about that. I'll be speaking at the huge convention in Nashville,
yay.
Tennessee.
Oh,
It's
we're
the
gonna be
17th through the
there.
19th.
Oh,
So-
we'll see you so soon.
So yeah, I'll be talking about all of this
I'll
stuff.
be
So if anybody
talking
has
about
any questions about that, okay, it's delayed.
Awesome.
Go to keithkalfas.com/events or go to the huge convention
or go to the
website.
huge convention website.
There's some delay there. But
I
that's
love that we're all each convention with you, Keith. So
Oh, okay,
we'll
awesome.
come by and be there. All of us.
I'm sorry that got weird.
Oh, it's okay.
We'll link to that, Keith.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
but at least
we'll link to it.
so to follow up in person when we have no
Okay.
That would be awesome.
Michelle, can you close us out? 'Cause we're-
Sure can. I absolutely can. And we assigned homework for everybody. For Taylor, and I know what she would have, and we will post it in the group a little bit later and let us know what that is. But my homework for everybody says from any other podcast is that we assign you some home step in your business and really move the needle forward that week. Go to the craft store and build a better way by what a cool idea this is. I'm digitally is something I do, and I think for thing, I think that's going to really help. So if your social media game or your content game, let's just boards are going to be the new cool thing. So I'm thrilled. Thank you so much, Keith. Guys, do you want to
I'm trying to drop it in the chat in case you can't hear it. Yeah. Can you read it for our
Can you
listeners?
read it for our listeners?
Is to use client brags about your employees on that could go on your battle board. I think that's perfect thing.
You're asking me?
You're asking me?
She's typing. Go ahead, Keith. If you have anything that could move the needle forward in their business, what would you do for them?
Set a plan. Figure out the stuff that you hate, and then set a plan to eventually stop doing stuff that you hate, so you can do stuff that you love.
It's so good. I wanted. Tay did drop her homework, so one time a day on video and posted on social. Is working a lot on live videos right now, so homework this week is to clone yourself by doing and be vulnerable. I do that, so I'm gonna try to do the homework this week. And to do something every single day to get your phone to ring, email bomb or text blast, something to get that phone to ring in this sort of summer services. So that's all I've got. How can we reach you? To you, what's the best way to connect with you if they want to know more?
Yes.
Please.
Go to Untrapped Podcast
Or G.
Go to Untrapped Podcast at gmail.com. Or if you feel like you need to get on the phone with me,
Or
Kalfas.com/call.
That makes it perfect. Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Keith. It were travel and all of these things, but it feels like very soon. Have an awesome night club. Bye, everybody.